This is Mecca, a desert land where power was everything, where the weak had no voice and the strong wrote the law. But today something in this city is about to change. A man whose name made people tremble, known for his strength and anger, is walking on a path that will change history. This is the story of Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu. A brave and powerful young man of Quraysh, tall, strong, and fearless. People were afraid of him. Yet in his heart there was one thing: hatred against Islam. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam began delivering the message of Allah, the leaders of Mecca felt their power was threatened, and among the foremost against it was Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu. He oppressed the Muslims, beat them, and caused them pain, believing he was doing what was right, but Allah had planned something else for him. One day news spread in Mecca that people were accepting Islam, which fueled Umar's anger, and he decided, "Today I will end Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." He set out with his sword, anger in his stride and fire in his eyes. On the way he met Hazrat Nuaym ibn Abdullah, radiallahu anhu, who asked, "Where are you going, O Umar?" Umar replied, "I am going to kill Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Nuaym realized that if he did not stop him, something serious would happen, so he said, "First look to your own home. Your sister and her husband have accepted Islam." Hearing this, Umar's anger intensified and he rushed straight to his sister's house. Inside, his sister Hazrat Fatima bint al-Khattab, radiallahu anha, and her husband were reciting the Quran. As soon as Umar entered, the atmosphere trembled with anger. He grabbed his brother-in-law and threw him to the ground, and when his sister tried to protect him, she was struck and injured. Seeing the blood, Umar paused for a moment and something shifted in his heart. He said, "Show me what you were reading." His sister replied, "You are not. In a state of purity, purify yourself first." Umar performed ghusl and then began to read the words of the Quran, Surah Taha. And as he read, the hardness of his heart began to melt. The fire in his eyes turned into tears. He said how beautiful and noble these words are. At that moment, Hazrat Kababab ibn al-Arit, radiallahu anhu, who had been hiding, came out and said, "Glad tidings, O Umar. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has prayed that Allah strengthens Islam through you." Hearing this, Umar's heart filled. He said, "Tell me where he is." They told him Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was at Dar al-Arqam. Umar went there and knocked on the door. Inside, the companions were afraid, but Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Open the door." When Umar entered, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam held him and said, "O Umar, how long will you wander?" These words penetrated his heart, and at that very moment Umar said, "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger." The entire room echoed with Takbir, Allahu Akbar. That day Islam gained a new strength. Muslims no longer hid but began to worship openly. Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, said, "Are we not upon the truth?" Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yes." Umar said, "Then why should we hide?" And for the first time the Muslims marched openly toward the Kaaba. Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, on one side, and Hazrat Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, radiallahu anhu, on the other, with all the believers behind them. That day Mecca saw that the situation had changed. Those who once lived in fear became fearless. Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, was not just a companion but a symbol of justice. During his time, no oppression was tolerated, even animals were safe. He was called Al-Faruq, the one who distinguishes between truth and falsehood. This story teaches us that even the hardest heart